everyone to another episode of Gaikoku Gamers Bytesized. This is Mike, and today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do a head-to-head. Daryl's been working a lot on the Atari XEGS, or we like to call XEGS, and I've been fooling around a lot with the Colecovision. Both of us have been playing a lot of Centipede, so we thought, why not see which one is the better version? Is it the Colecovision version, or the Atari XEGS version? Who knows? But let's follow us into the playroom, and we'll find out.
First up is Centipede for the Colecovision, copyright 1983 by Atari. There's easy standard hard play modes for one player or two players. As you can see, I find the colors a little bit better in the Colecovision, and the graphics are a little bit more detailed, if not a little funky, compared to the Atari XEGS. The Scorpion actually looks a little weird, the Spider looks a little weird, but it definitely plays a lot faster. But one thing I find is, I find the graphics a little too big. The sprites are a little too big. It's hard to differentiate sometimes how close to the bottom the Centipede actually is. And as you see there, you can die very easily because you think it still has one layer to go when in fact it's actually right on top of you. The sound is great in it. They did a really good job with the sound emulation. I think one of the reasons the speed is a little faster is as this is using the same processor, the Z80 processor, as the actual arcade machines. One little difference is that it takes 12,000 points, not 10,000, like in the Atari to get free lives. And as you see there, I just got one. It's a lot of fun. It's a really good arcade conversion, and I think Coleco did a really good job bringing it over to the Colecovision. It's very colorful, it's very fast, the sound is good. It's definitely, if you don't have an Atari XEGS, but have a Colecovision, this is definitely a great version to have. It's definitely hands above the Atari 2600, and I believe the Intellivision had a version of it as well. But, coming up, we do get to see the Atari, and once we go over that, we'll be going and showing you a final side-by-side comparison. And we'll let you guys decide what you think is the best version, the Colecovision version, which you're seeing here, or the Atari XEGS version, which is coming up next. This, folks, is the Atari XEGS version of Centipede. This, I believe, was put out in 1982. As you can see, it runs really well. It looks really good. I think, though, these type of graphics are more towards the arcade look than the Colecovision. It has the proper size ratio between the mushrooms and the centipedes and the ship, and as you'll see when the Spider comes out and later on the Scorpion, they look more like the arcade counterparts, and I think the Atari XEGS version is definitely closer to the arcade than the actual Colecovision. Sound-wise, it's pretty much spot on. It's amazing sound for such an old system. It's amazing what Atari did with the XEGS computer/console, and they did a really good job of bringing Centipede home. Coleco is known a lot for their home ports of arcade games, and I think this is a very strong addition to the Atari. And it's a very, very strong arcade port. I think it's one of the best ports that you get, and I actually prefer it over the Colecovision myself. I think it looks better. It does run a little slower, as you can see, and you'll also be able to see it in the side-by-side comparison. But I think the feel of the game, the look of the game, the sound of it actually represents the arcade version more than the Colecovision. Especially with the look of the characters. Yeah, the graphics may look a bit more colorful and a bit better in Coleco, but I find, like I said, these sprites represent the actual arcade characters better. So, let's set it up side by side and see what we can come up with. And here we have the side by side, of course, the Coleco on the left, the Atari on the right. As you can see, the Coleco sprites are a lot bigger. And for me, it takes away a little bit of the feel of the arcade. I feel that the graphics in the Atari XEGS version represent the arcade better. Look at the Spider going across on the Atari one. As you can see, it looks more like the arcade. The Spider and the Scorpion on the Coleco one look kind of funky. But all in all, they are both good versions. I think the Atari XEGS one edges the Coleco version out on the fact that it's more like the arcade. The Coleco version, as you can see, runs a bit smoother and faster, but in a way doesn't convey the feel of the arcade, just because I feel like the sprites are bigger, and it kind of takes away from that arcade look and feel. Both are solid games, but if I had to choose one to own, I would definitely go with the Atari XEGS version. If you don't have an Atari and you have the Coleco, then definitely, hey, the Coleco version is great too. They're both solid versions of Centipede, but I think the Atari XEGS version wins this head-to-head. What do you think? Which one do you prefer the look and sound of? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. This is Mike from Gaikoku Gamers, giving you another bite-sized episode. And remember, when you're playing with the Centipedes, you better play safe.